Hello again and welcome to the world of Mario. So as you see here, this is a picture that is of a Gothic dark castle. Jamziboy Minecraft started to make one of the buildings on this, and I think maybe even the dock area. And then he sort of just abandoned it. And when I saw it, I was like, that is amazing. I want to make that. And he's doing it at a smaller scale than what I think I'm doing it at. And his isn't looking like it. But then again, why should it look exactly like a picture you see? Like I said, his is just smaller, so he's kind of taking some liberties to change things up. And don't get me wrong, I really like what he's doing. It looks pretty good, but I decided to make my own, and I wanted to make it a little more grand. So I've been like going to town building on this, and it's probably, I don't know, maybe 12 hours worth of work right now. But let me show you what I got so far. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I've got pretty much all the docks done, and sort of like these lower arches, and then this upper level here with the big doors, and now this kind of little like raised walkway, and then now I'm working on this building here, which I've taken some liberties because when you're back way out here, it's kind of hard to tell what things look like in reality. And as you can see, theirs was much darker and more stone and that kind of stuff, and it wasn't. I don't know. I still may change my textures and stuff, but I like the brick roof. It looks more like the slate type stuff. I may switch it to like, oh, what is it? The nether brick stuff. That has like that texture. Might be better. Um, and then maybe change the wool to something dark as well, or a stone or something like that. But I think it's turning out pretty good. I kind of like it. And here's another little detail that I thought was kind of clever. I threw anvils in the middle. And the way you got to do this, of course, is put the thing down, and then you can't stick that on top. So I had to come out the side of that fence with another fence, and then put two on top, and then one off to the side, and then just erase all the other fencing. And so then you got the anvil in there, and you can set it that way, or you can turn it and set it this way. And then I've got one up here on the peak. And from down here, they look pretty cool. They look sort of like weather vanes, I think, more so than using like fence gates or fences or whatever. And then along the top ridge of the roof, I've got a fence and a fence gate. Now, again, I would have used pesky weather. I would have used the black stuff, but they don't have gates in black, which I think they should do that. Maybe that'll be like one of the future expansions. They seem to add little things like that from time to time. But yeah, let's go inside and I'll kind of show you what it looks like so far. Again, this build is somewhat texture pack dependent, so you can change it to different ones and you'll get different pictures up there. But obviously, I'm not done. So, man, I updated to 1.4.6, and I don't know if MC Patcher's put in right or if it's just the texture. I don't know. It's weird, so I may have to look into that. It seems like on my work computer, I installed everything, MC Patcher, all that kind of stuff, and it didn't have these problems. But so this is the inside of the right wing. I don't have any furniture or anything. I'm not sure if I'm liking how it's working out, but I put glowstone back there and then the new like brick walls in front of it, so it made this kind of interesting pattern. And then I've got upside down stairs, right side upstairs, and then I put stairs that way, so you from the outside you get more of like an arched window look, which looks cool, but from the inside they're these ginormous rectangles, so not as cool. And I had to use block glass instead of panes. I probably could still use panes, but then you have like an undercut and it doesn't go flush to the face of the thing. It just looks kind of silly. Those guys there, I may change their texture, or I may just like add a beam or something around there. This side, excuse me, this side I've got is taller, and I hear zombies. So, and I didn't want to do the glowstone in there because it just seemed to encroach way too much on this room. So yeah, you can kind of see over here the old way. So that's that. Let's go up to this level. So here is the level that's kind of in the middle. I added a little window here. I may add like one somewhere else too, but this is unfinished. There's my zombie friend. Hello, zombie. Hi, go. Ooh, he's growling. He's probably hungry. So anyway, this is kind of a leftovers from the other side. Let me show you this side over here. So since I had the fireplace, I figured I'd put a fireplace in. But I did some beam work in here, which I think turned out pretty good. I've got this little bump out, which I'll go outside and show you that again. Put like a little bench seat. I also had a mod in here where you could like right click on chairs and you would sit in the chair now. However, when I updated to 1.4.6, it broke. So it's not that big a deal, but I figure, eventually they'll update that and then things will be fine. But I need to keep paying attention to the bucket thing because yeah. So anyway, this is the tower itself, the top level, which as you can see is pretty huge. And then there's like this little balcony that lets you look out into the harbor. And on Maria, there's not a lot of oceans, so I don't want to tell you where this is, yet, because I'm still working on it and it's going to take forever, but I will definitely tell you where it is later once I get more of it done, but you could probably figure it out. Anyway, so this is the little pop out on the side. Tried to stay somewhat true to the picture as far as, some of it, how it's laid out, but I'm going to be taking my own liberties here and there. And originally this whole wing was wider by like 5 blocks or so. The roof went like 3 or 4 levels higher than it is now. And there was an extra floor that I made right basically where these beams are. I just put a floor in and it was a much bigger room up there. But ultimately I didn't like it. I liked having kind of like the beams in the ceiling, and then I may come back and put like beams going up at the length of the roof. I've seen that before. Kind of look like framing. So yeah, this is what it's turning into, and these little tower thingy, jet out things, whatever they're called, they're hollow inside. I'm definitely going to make stairs and so you can get up there, and I may even do something up here instead of just having them capped, like make little turret things so you can like climb up there and look around. But you can come up here and look over the edge. So I also may lower this down or raise up this floor, actually probably would be more accurate, just so the fence will keep you from falling off. But yeah, and then down in here you can take your little boats down in here and go inside, and there's access to get around through all these little openings and stuff. And my plan is, and I don't know if I'm going to get around to it anytime soon, so I may tell you where this is before I build it, but my plan is to continue this back, making this whole like network thing and turn it into almost like a Phantom of the Opera layer kind of thing under there with like tunnels and stairwells and crazy stuff going everywhere. Maybe make this, I don't know, but I think it turned out pretty good. So far I'm liking where it's going. I think it looks good. And I added this like little lower piece. They kind of hinted towards it in the picture, but I figure if when we get here with smaller boats, there's no way to use this dock with a small boat, so you'd have to go over here to this island edge. And this is still going to change. This might stay the way it is, but in the picture, the thing goes off like a ways back there and ways back there and just keeps climbing. And one of the reasons I chose this site is not only do I have the bay area, but back here is sort of the start of like a mountain. And I'm probably going to augment this, make it taller. And I'm kind of close to World Edge, which, if you may have noticed in Mario, I've got a border turned off, and that's just so the world just doesn't get huge. But I may expand that. In fact, I have expanded it twice since I've started the server, and I may expand it some more. I'm still contemplating on whether I want to just delete like big chunks of the world and then have them respawn with like emeralds and all the new stuff that you don't have. Although I have noticed I've found some witches, I've found some bats in caves that weren't there before, so Some of the stuff I think is kind of more random. I think the witches appear if there's a town in near a swamp. I know there's some kind of swamp shack or witch hut or something that's there, so I'm not really sure how they work. I've also had golems appear. I put um, people in the town of like Rowan to act as NPCs because the citizens mod was broken, and I lost all my NPCs, which is frustrating. I got the shops working again, and then with 1.4.6, it broke all of them. So it's kind of frustrating. So that's why on the site it says sort of, because I'm kind of limping. But yeah, so this is where I am at so far with this, and I plan on showing you more as I build it. In fact, I may even film myself building some of it, but it's kind of difficult because at home I have one monitor. Looking at getting, well, I have a larger monitor I could use, and I may set that up, and then I'll be fine. But um, it's just easier to build at work because I have two monitors at work, and I can put the reference photo on one side and the actual Minecraft on the other side. And you know, when you're at work and you have nothing better to do, it's kind of something to kill time. And no, I don't work for Minecraft. I don't work at a video game company. I'm a draftsman, and we have a job where it's kind of like feast or famine, where a client will say, "Hey, we want you to build like this power plant or whatever," and then you're just working for like months solid, drawing up the plans for a power plant, and then like the next week, nothing. Nobody wants anything done. You're sitting around twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the day to end, and it's nice to have something to pass the time, you know. So Minecraft fills that because it's fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to show you more soon. Thanks. Bye.